Hey, Mossy.
Hey Megan, how are you?
Good. How are you today?
Good, good.
Awesome. I'm trying to scarf some lunch real quick in between meetings.
And I think Elisa is should be joining us and she'll
Okay.
be talking on behalf of East.
Okay, great. Yeah, I changed your name to hers in the presentation just a little bit ago.
Okay.
Good.
Hey
Well,
Allie, oh go ahead.
no, I was just gonna say good morning. It's still morning for a few more minutes, so
Yes.
to Allie and Shiner.
Hi, good morning.
How are you, Shiner?
I'm great. How are y'all doing?
Good.
Good.
Is it icy where y'all are at?
Not where
Yes.
I'm at. I'm deep South Texas. Mossy, probably same story.
Yeah, it's cold, but no ice.
No ice. Yeah.
Cold and
It's
dry. How
icy
are
here.
you? Are you surviving?
Yeah, I did drive an hour and a half this morning to get back to Albany, and it was icy. Like all the snow's compacted on the road. I didn't
Oh.
slip, but I was scared. I was going really slow.
Well, glad you made it and glad you're okay.
Yeah, me too. Thank you.
All right, Kelly's here. Oh, no, she's gone. Oh, there she is. Okay. So
Allie,
what
every time I see your zebra, I just want to say, did you get that at World Market?
Yes, yes, I did.
Cool. Cassie's here, letting her in. And then I think so. Cassie and I hopped on a kind of a practice run meeting earlier, and we have this Zoom meeting set up specifically to where, let me make sure Cassie is a co-host. A co-host. Okay, everybody should be a co-host. So we've set the meeting up to where once I screen share the presentation, any of y'all should be able to use the arrow keys on your computer to move through the slides. So I want to give that a test run prior to any of this kicking off. So let me, since we're all here, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. And so this will be the screen that's up until noon. Soon as noon rolls around, I'll do a very brief introduction and then at any point, or as soon as I'm done with my again brief intro, y'all will be able to I don't see Elisa. Well, Elisa's not here yet, but y'all will be able to tab through. So if we want to just kind of make sure that works on everybody's computer, I'll just start with how I'm seeing everybody listed here. Allie, do you want to try to just arrow key through and see if oh no, hold on. I take that back. I have to do one other thing first. Hold on, I've got to give you slide control. I skipped a step.
I just got notification that I got slide.
Okay, perfect. Okay, sweet. Now try it, Allie.
It's down at the bottom, I
Okay.
think. Yes,
Okay,
but
so Allie's
yeah.
Allie's got slide control. Shiner, you want to try it just to make sure it works on everybody's computer? Cool. Is
Okay.
there a bit of a lag? Do y'all notice a lag?
There's a
Okay.
bit of a lag.
Okay, just so we're aware. Okay, that it's there. Kelly? Sweet. Cassie should be able to, and then we'll just wait. Let me see if Elisa is here yet. As soon as Elisa hops on here in a couple of minutes, we'll have her do the same. But as so the presentation, if y'all have all had a chance to look at it, um, is in the same order that it's been once the way Cassie put it together. So if we go back to the start, just kind of keep an eye out for on where we are and know where you're at as far as your turn to present. So Elisa will start, then Shiner, Allie, Kelly, and Cassie. I mean, obviously pretty simple. Everybody's slides pretty well has a title slide. So once we get to your title slide, you just simply take over. You can quickly introduce yourself and continue on, if that makes sense to everyone. Should be pretty simple. Okay. We
Great.
will just wait for see if Elisa's in the waiting room yet. Okay, Elisa's here. Hey, Elisa, can you hear me okay?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, sure can. So what I've done is made you a co-host and gave you slide control. You should have seen it pop up. Can you try to just navigate through a slide or two?
Sure.
Should be either a button at the, okay, perfect. There's a little bit of a lag from what we've found, so just have to be aware of the lag time, but you should be able to, when you're going through your slides, be able to navigate as you see fit through your slides pretty easily. Cool. All right. Easy peasy. Like we know what we're doing. So this slide, just we will begin shortly. I'll just sit here until we are ready to roll here in 8 minutes. So we've got a little bit of time. Is there any questions anybody have beforehand?
And
Cassie?
sorry, Megan, you are going to kind of do a quick intro of us when you first get started, right? So we could
Yes.
at least wave,
Yep.
because we're not sure, right, if they'll actually be able to see us when they're talking, since we're already doing a share screen sort of thing.
Right.
So maybe keep mindful of that. They might be able to see us at the top. I mean, like right now, I can see all of us at the top. So they may or may not be able to see us during, but maybe at the very beginning, when she's not sharing screen for a moment, you can wave sort of thing, but otherwise, yeah, maybe more than likely they're going to see our slides and maybe not us.
Yeah, that's kind of the only downside to a single presentation is there's no, and unless we want to stop it and y'all have a chance to have your face full screen for, your quick introduction of yourself, then we can do that. But that's the only downside to multiple speakers in a single slideshow. So,
I mean, I don't feel need to be seen.
okay.
I don't want to speak for everybody else, but
Okay.
But I mean, at the same time, do y'all see each other right now? Like,
Hmm.
I see the
Yeah.
little square at the top,
yeah,
which is plenty.
right. Good.
Yeah, and I guess depending on how each participant has their setup, I mean, you can obviously move this little window around and you can view more or less active screens. So it depends on how they have it set up on their own computers or phones, however they're logging in.
Yeah, I guess how I have it set up, I have like a line of like 6 screens
Yeah.
that I can see at a time.
Hmm. Yeah.
Should be good.
Cool. Easy enough.
And again, yeah, they'll type questions throughout, but then Megan, you'll at the end, we'll just take all questions as they've kind of come in, but you will moderate that and you'll just kind of go through and ask them on those people's behalf, and we can pop in an answer.
Yes. Yep. Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, it's all the chat pulled up and feel free to look through the chat after you're done or you're more than welcome to look through that. And if, at the end, obviously, if there's a question directed towards you, I'll just reiterate the question. You just hop in and you've got an answer pretty well ready to go.
Sound?
All right. We've got right at 5 minutes. As soon as, I don't know, usually I'll wait till like 11:58 and then start letting everybody in from the waiting room. And so until then, we'll just, if anybody has unless anybody has a further question, I'll mute all of us and we'll just hang tight for 4 minutes. And then you'll hear me start talking at noon. I'll just start my quick intro at noon. Just don't forget to unmute yourself before you start your portion of the presentation, which Elisa, you'll be up first.
That was my question. I was wondering about the order.
Here, let me show. So this is the order, Elisa. So you are kicking us off. But okay, yeah, unless anybody has a question, I'll go ahead and we'll mute everybody and I'll kick us off right at noon.
Sounds good.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Wild at Work. My name is Megan Pineda. I'm the Adult Education Specialist with Texas Wildlife Association. Joining us today, we have representatives from several different youth conservation organizations who will share highlights from their programs and other valuable information as to how you can get your child involved. Representing Land Stewardship Ambassadors is Elisa Velador, Youth Range Workshop, Shiner Webb, Texas Brigades, Allie Alcorn, Wildlife Conservation Camp, Kelly Mundy, and Guadalupe River Trout Unlimited, Cassie Sheffer-Giesland. Welcome, and before I hand the reins over to Elisa to begin, I would like to remind the audience to please keep your microphones muted throughout the presentation. If you'd like to ask a question, please post it in the chat. We'll do our best to answer it at the end of the presentation. Elisa, I'm going to let you go ahead and begin your portion of the presentation.
Thank you so much. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Elisa Velador. I am an educator with the East Foundation. The East Foundation promotes the advancement of land stewardship through ranching, science, and education. And it's my pleasure to talk to you about our wonderful program called Land Stewardship Ambassadors. So the Land Stewardship Ambassador program is a collaboration between the Whitty Museum and the East Foundation. And the way that we choose students for this program is through a competitive application process. The application opens up in August, and the deadline to apply is November 1st of every year. And the goal of this program is to increase awareness of land stewardship principles, to promote civic engagement, and also to inspire students to obtain careers that support land stewardship. So we choose 15 students from 3 different counties every year: Bexar County, Cameron County, and Webb County. Upon selecting the students, we have a parent-student meeting to go over this, the program expectations. But once they're chosen, we do provide all learning materials, which include 8 different books. We also provide a backpack, water bottle, just learning utensils like notepads and things like that. We do provide transportation to and from the overnight trips, which actually there's 2 overnight trips, one to the Whitty Museum in San Antonio and also to the San Antonio Viejo Ranch, south of Hebbronville. Upon successful completion of the program, students do have the opportunity to earn a $400 stipend. Something we started to implement a couple of years ago is an extra $50 for those students who complete all of their homeworks on time, and a $100 stipend for the best final presentation overall. It's one for each cohort. So students are expected to attend weekly meetings, which actually occur on Sundays. Each county has a predetermined location where they meet. They are expected to attend the overnight trips, the one for the Whitty Museum and the ranch. Every week they are assigned different readings. It is a reading and writing intensive course. So it's they have pre-readings or previewing assignments. From those, they do a TQC, thesis, comment, quote, and they come prepared to discuss those readings for our meetings on Sundays. They are required to present a final project. Usually it's a topic of their choice relating to land stewardship. And from there, we have different topics that we cover every week. We kick off the program with the parent-student information session. We take them to the Whitty Museum for an overnight trip. They get to do all kinds of fun activities. It's a lot of team building, a lot of networking amongst themselves. They leave as friends at the end of the Whitty weekend, and they continue to communicate with each other throughout the program. And, they become fast friends after that. So some of them still communicate with each other after the program ends. We have different topics every week. Again, we discuss every Sunday history of conservation, human dimensions. Even public speaking is included because this is a skill that is definitely helpful for any kid going through high school and college and beyond. And then at the end of the program, we visit the East Foundation's San Antonio Viejo Ranch. And again, they all come together, all 45 students, and they get to meet different professionals from the natural resources fields. During that weekend, they might get to see, the the cattle workings in action, or they might get to meet wildlife biologists, game wardens, veterinarians. It just depends who's available to speak with them that weekend. But throughout the program, we do provide mentorship and also information about other programs that might be available for them. For example, wildlife conservation camps and Texas Brigades. We make that information available to them, as well as information about scholarships. And we also provide them with connections to people in the natural resources field. So it's not just a one and done 10 weeks. We do communicate with them after the program and keep up with them through surveys. So in the summer of 2024, we sent out a survey for our alumni. Of those who responded, some of them were still in high school, some of them were already in college, and some of them have actually already entered the workforce. And of those that responded, 149 of them reported that they had an increased awareness of land stewardship. 107 of them are actually working to obtain a career that supports land stewardship. And 98 of those have participated in civic engagement. So we're really excited about those results and hope to send out another survey pretty soon. So with that, our next slide includes our county instructors. Helen Holdsworth with the Whitney Museum is in Bear County, myself in Cameron County, and my colleague Masi Mejia is in the Webb County area.
Hi, can everyone hear me? I'll take that as a yes. My name's Shiner Webb. I volunteer with Youth Range Workshop. This is my 4th year volunteering with them. I think it's a really great camp that really encompasses everything to do with range management and land stewardship. It's held June 21st through 26th this year in Junction, Texas. And it's been held there since 1955. So it's a very long going camp. I believe this is our 70th year, and it's been there every year except 2020, I believe. It's specifically for ages 14 to 18. The campers need to have completed 8th grade, and not yet completed 12th grade. Camp is $500 for registration, and this includes all meals, lodging, and supplies. And the only thing that the individual is responsible for is transport to and from camp. And we do have potential sponsorship available. Sorry, getting a little tongue-tied. Potential sponsorships available. There's lots of hands-on experience throughout the week. They learn from experts in the fields, college students and their peers. Oh, I'm sorry, I clicked the button and now I can't see the shared screen. Okay, I got it. And there's a competition throughout the week for a top outfit. A full camp is 40 students. We haven't had that in the past few years, and usually there's about 25 to 30 campers. We do a lot of plant identification throughout the week, and each camper gets their own plant press that they get to take home. They press plants all week for a plant collection that goes towards the competition, and the plant list that we use is based off of the 4-H and FFA plant ID and range plant list. So they get to take these samples home as well as they're pressed to help them study if they're doing those contests. We cover some entomology. We have a professor from Texas A&M come in and they do a full bug sweep and get to look at samples and identify them. Like I said, it's an all-encompassing camp, so we talk about every part of the range. So the soil principles of soil health and the carbon cycle, mineral cycle, water cycle, and everything that affects. We also have NRCS experts come in and teach the campers how to do some range sampling methods and monitoring, go over all sorts of things like forage inventory and talk about some ranch management aspects such as carrying capacity and stocking rate calculations. And we talk about mechanical and chemical and individual plant treatment for brush management. We have Corteva come in and the students get some hands-on experience with all of those types of brush management. We also have a really fun day where we go out and get to conduct a real prescribed burn. I will say that usually the conditions aren't right for a burn in June in Junction. So it is usually a little humid and a little green. Hopefully, if we've had some rain. So the fire may not carry very well, but it's always really fun. All of the campers get to carry a torch with the flame on it, and we go through the processes as we would in a real prescribed burn. On our last full day, we go and tour the Kerr WMA, and so they get to hear from Texas Parks and Wildlife employees and talk about what it's like managing range specifically for wildlife use. So we learn a lot, but we also it's really important for us for the campers to have fun. So we have free time built into each day throughout the week to help them catch up on projects. And we're also along a beautiful river, and they get to fish and swim and run around and make friends, and it's a good time. Throughout the week, they also have the opportunity to practice their public speaking skills, which is just for fun and practice. And the five best throughout the week get to compete for the chance to win a buckle for a short 5-minute presentation of their choice. And it helps build their confidence a lot in public speaking. And then the staff and volunteers throughout the week select 4 campers to go on to an additional program called Youth Range Workshop 2, which is held the following summer. So this is a smaller group of students, and it's a deeper dive into all things range management. They tour different ranches throughout the week and get a lots of hands-on opportunities for all things ranching and range. And then 2 campers are also selected by the volunteers to attend our parent Society for Range Management's annual meeting. So this year, 2 of our campers from Youth Range Workshop are going to the meeting in February in Monterey, California. And they join students all across the nation there, and they get to prepare a formal presentation and experience that side of range professionalism. So right now, our applications aren't open quite yet. We're having some technical difficulties with our website. So if you have a student that may be interested, you can email us and we'll get you on a wait list and let you know when those applications are open. or you can follow us on Facebook at TSSRM Youth Range Workshop, and we uh, will let you know one way or another when our applications are open. And yeah, drop any questions you have for me in the chat box. I think we'll get to them at the end. Thank you.
Thanks, Shannon. Hi, my name is Allie Alcorn, and I am the Executive Director of Texas Brigades. And I'm excited to talk with y'all about Brigades. We are a leadership and wildlife camp and programs for students 13 to 17. You can see our mission here on the screen, but in short, our goal is to create conservation leaders in every community. Through our programs, we develop young people who enjoy outdoor traditions, and we want them to feel confident on the land and in the water and advocating for natural resources for years to come. So, Texas Brigades started in 1993 as just the Bob White Brigade. Wildlife leaders recognized that there was a growing disconnect between young people and native landscapes. So, they tried to remedy this by showing youth how healthy habitats and conservation practices support wildlife populations and then taught them how to communicate that. So today we are still acting as that bridge, connecting youth to the land through hands-on experiences. We've grown into 10 different summer camps and other programs that continue to get students in the field and learning about native landscapes and building leaders. So our camps are our most popular program. Each summer we serve about 200 cadets. Cadets is what we call our campers, with about 20 to 25 cadets at each camp of our 10 camps. We have 9 camps in Texas and 1 in North Dakota. All of our camps are held in June and July at private ranches, facilities, and lodges. They're all 5 days long, overnight, and focus on a specific species or area of wildlife and rangeland management. As you can see, we have 2 bobwhite brigades that focus on bobwhite quail and grassland birds, 2 buckskin brigades, which are about white-tailed deer, 2 ranch brigades, which focus on beef cattle and ranching, a bass brigade, which focuses on inland fisheries, coastal brigade, which focuses on coastal fisheries, and then 2 waterfowl brigades, one in Texas and then the one in North Dakota, which focus on geese and waterfowl and wetlands. The dates for each camp this summer are on our website, as well as their exact locations. Each camp is $500, but we have opportunities for tuition assistance. We don't want tuition to be a barrier for a cadet to come, so we will find the tuition and make it happen. At camp, there are 3 main pillars of what the cadets are learning. Our first pillar is leadership and team building. So cadets are building confidence and communication skills that extend far beyond the outdoors. They're learning how to work as a team, speak in front of others, and take ownership of their role as leaders. They're forming, deep friendships in a statewide or in some cases national network of professionals and peers that last the rest of their life. Our second pillar of camp is conservation, education, and stewardship. Cadets develop both a big picture and hands-on knowledge of wildlife and rangeland management. They're learning about plant identification and species population management, habitat assessments, water quality, biology, anatomy, data collection, and more, while understanding why and how our conservation decisions matter. The third pillar of camp is the ambassadorship and community outreach. And this is where everything comes together. After camp, cadets go out to their communities and they're giving presentations, they're leading programs and attending events, applying the communication skills and knowledge and leadership skills that they got at camp, in hopes to return to camp in a leadership role and earn college scholarships. We're looking, if you're looking to get involved this summer, we have many opportunities. I know there are a lot of adults on this call, so we are looking for adult leaders as well. And as an adult leader, you will walk through the program with the cadet. So you're in the field with them, collecting samples or, listening to the presentations alongside them, keeping them engaged and encouraged throughout the week. No prior experience is necessary, so if you're not an expert on any of our subjects, no worries. We still want you to come to camp. Our adult volunteers, all of our camps are 100% volunteer run. We could not do camps without our volunteers, and are so thankful for the time and the energy that they give to Texas Brigades. So if you want to be an adult volunteer, you think you can contribute preparing for camp, during camp, or have opportunities for cadets after camp, we would love to chat. But today we're talking about our youth opportunities, and so we'll talk about cadets, are 13 to 17, and we're looking for kids with just a passion for the outdoors, for science, or that want to get involved. Our applications are open. They opened on November 1st, and they stay open through March 15th. They are live on our website, texasbrigades.org. We'll have a link on the last slide, and it will go out at the end of this webinar as well. But again, they close March 15th, and we want to get you to camp. The applications have 2 essays along with a couple just general questions, but we're really just looking for why you want to come to camp. We're not analyzing your grammar. We just want to see the passion and why you love natural resources. And we will have answers, or you will be selected for camp and you will know by April 15th. So you can still plan your summer and know what you're doing. Now, what you're seeing here are cadets learning by doing. These are just some of the examples of the activities that they do, the time in the field and all these moments that bring joy and confidence in being a land steward. These skills learned at camp are meant to set cadets up for a lifetime of just enjoying the natural resources and hunting or fishing or hiking, photography, journaling, all of the wonderful things outside. Not every cadet will pursue a career in wildlife, but we want them to leave with a conservation mindset and the confidence to engage with outdoors responsibly. Our camps are not our only program. I also want to talk about experiences today. So these are for students 9 to 17, and they are just a one-day event. They're held throughout the school year, and they kind of serve as an introduction to camp, and allow students to dive deeper into a specific topic. We do have a one-day experience called our Baffin Bay experience coming up on April 25th. And that is in partnership with Heart Research Institute. And it's just one day just south of Kingsville. And be checking our website for more information coming out soon on that. So in closing, over the past 30 years, we've reached more than 4,000 students and want to keep adding motivated young people who return home ready to share the importance of outdoor traditions. If you have any questions about Texas Brigades, I'd love to chat with y'all after. Thanks.
All right, so my name is Kelly Mundy, and I'm with the Wildlife Conservation Camp, which is sponsored by the Texas chapter of the Wildlife Society. Just like Brigades, we got started in 1993, so we're both hitting a little over 30 years now. But unlike Brigades, we are much smaller in scale, and so we just have the one camp a year, and we'll see anywhere from 12 up to about 26 is the highest that we've had, I believe. And so with this, very similar to the other camps, our main goal is just to get students outdoors, get them involved in hands-on opportunities. And so this involves different activities throughout the week of species ID, tracking, trapping, and trapping can involve a lot of different animals depending on which professionals we have that week. And so you'll see some pictures that we have of snakes, turtles. Sometimes it's Sherman traps, so we're catching rodents. And then we also have like skins and skulls, journaling. And so camper requirements, I have listed here high school age students who have completed their first year of high school. And they also need a nomination letter, but that can be from anyone, Texas Farm Bureau agent, their extension agent, youth group leader, just someone that says, hey, they're really passionate about the outdoors and I think they would love this camp. And so it's not a super complicated application process, and they don't have to be from Texas. So we've actually had students from outside of the state come down to this week-long camp, and see all about Texas within the few days that we can tell them every activity. And so the benefits of this, like with the other camps, they're going to get to network not only with their peers, but also with the different professionals, getting those hands-on experiences to find out, I really like this activity, or I really don't want to do this in my future career. And so with those future careers, we have different biologists throughout the week. We have urban biologists that may work with bats specifically, people that work with birds, big game animals, game warden experiences. And so they're definitely getting to hear all about some different ones that they may not have known existed. And ours costs $350 per camper, and that includes their lodging and meals. And so we also have sponsorships available. And typically, the Texas Farm Bureau, each county has some money set aside, if they want to apply that way too. With our campers, a lot of them have gone on to stay involved in conservation, like with the other camps, as well as hold leadership positions within Texas chapter of the Wildlife Society or other organizations. And I am a little biased because I've gone since I was a camper, but it's definitely a great opportunity to not only go as a high school student, but stay involved with the organization as a college mentor, a professional mentor, and then you may even become director one year. And so one unique thing about the Wildlife Conservation Camp is that we actually will change locations every year. And so, like I said, attending as a camper and coming back as a mentor, it's typically not going to be the same experience every year. So there's going to be different professionals. It's going to be a different location. So this year it's going to be at the Three Rivers Ranch in Ford County, and it's going to be Nolan Talkington as the director, and his contact information is on our website. So feel free to reach out if you have any questions. In previous years, it's been at Welder Wildlife Foundation, which is where the camp started. We've gone to Junction as well. We've had it at the Bamberger Ranch in the Hill Country. And so if it's not in the location you would prefer for that year, maybe it's too much of a drive for you, definitely continue looking. And even if you're not a high school student as an adult, we definitely have professional mentors and we have college age mentors as well. So there's opportunities for everybody. I joke that I will just continue going from high school until I'm too old to attend camp. And so it's a great opportunity. If you're interested in anything with the outdoors, definitely doesn't have to be, this is what I want to do with my future career. It can be, I want to get hands-on experience being outside, and I don't typically get the opportunity to. If you want more information, we have a website, and then we also have an Instagram and Facebook page. So like I said, feel free to reach out with different questions, and I'll look forward to hearing from some of you.
All right. Hi there. My name is Cassie Shepherd-Eastland, and I'm going to talk to you all a little bit about the youth trout camp put on by the Guadalupe River Trout Unlimited. So just a little bit of background about the what we call GRTU. GRTU is its own nonprofit organization focused and located here in Central Texas. It is a part of the greater national organization of Trout Unlimited. We are the largest of the Trout Unlimited chapters. And again, very proud of that here in Central Texas, with our home water being the Guadalupe River. So GRTU is very mission centric as far as conservation and education and different fundraising programs, leading support all across the state and the nation as well. And so with that, there is a board, there's many members, of course, and it's volunteer driven. And so Our youth camp is run by myself. So in my professional capacity, I'm the director of youth education with the Texas Wildlife Association, and my husband, who serves on the board of GRTU, Dacus Eastland, his professional capacity is Deputy Director of Coastal Fisheries with Texas Parks and Wildlife. So we've been running our youth tribe camp since 2015. And so with that, just a little bit about our camp. So a little bit different from the other organizations and camps that you've heard from today. About the same age level there. We're looking for youth ages 12 to 17 with more of that interest in fly fishing and trout conservation. But where we are a little bit different, as you can see here, is the camp is actually one youth and one parent or guardian or mentor, one adult that would like to come along with them. And so that allows us a little bit more flexibility as to what we can do during camp. So you can see this was actually our picture. We just wrapped up camp earlier this month. So usually we have about 24 to sometimes even 28 campers. So you can see here, here's our cohort from this year. And so during our camp is, we only hold one a year. So again, with that, it is held always on that MLK holiday weekend. Campers usually come in on that Friday evening with their parents, and then they'll stay Friday and Saturday nights with us. And so looking forward to 2027, there's our camp dates. And we're hosted at the Rio Guadalupe Resort on the Guadalupe River. So we have cabins and houses on the Guadalupe River throughout the weekend. And the cost is only $200. And so that's for both the youth and the adult. That covers meals, lodging. Typically they go home with their very own fly rod and some other donated materials as well, a shirt and a hat. So again, we think there's a great value in this. And then again, many thanks to our sponsors and our organization for then supporting the rest of the costs there. So just a little bit of insight as to what the campers do during the weekend. Again, very camper focused, but you'll see in some of these photos too that we absolutely encourage the adults to join as well. We've heard from both that it's a life-changing experience for both of them. So on Saturday morning, the very first thing we do, typically, again, being in January, very cold, and we bundle up, we do actually stock the Guadalupe River. This is and again, in partnership with GRTU, they do bring in trout from out of state. And so the campers they literally will put together kind of a bucket brigade to stock the river. Again, so it's a great way for those students to feel like they're involved in the conservation efforts. Also during camp, again, a lot of these students have never fly fished before. And so, again, they'll get their fly rods at camp and then also receive casting instruction during. So that's just one of the sessions that we'll go through on that Saturday afternoon in preparation for then what they'll take part in on Sunday morning. Also part of it too, though, is, needing to know how to rig up your fly rod. So not tying and fly tying is a part of it. So again, we have a great set of volunteers that come in with the materials and all the instruction that goes along with it. So the campers will actually tie several flies while they're there at camp to take home. Admittedly, we kind of joke that, hey, keep this one because it's your first fly probably, and may not be so pretty, but it's okay. And so again, they love that opportunity to do that. And then next up is also, because we're on the Guadalupe River, we want to take that opportunity and teach them about the conservation and river ecology of the river. So we'll have Texas Parks and Wildlife come in and give a little bit of history and just talk about the regulations of the Guadalupe River, but then also teaching them about the ecology of the river. A session called Match the Hatch. Why do you have different flies look like different macroinvertebrates on the river? And so again, really wanting them to, it's not just about the sport of fishing, but very much about the conservation and taking care of the natural resource of the river. And then I think the last one here is kind of the culminating event Sunday morning. We have a group of guides that work the Guadalupe River that are fantastic and actually donate a half-day guided trip for all of the students on the Guadalupe River. So again, usually it's just been stocked, so the fish are there and they are hungry. So this year was a great fishing year for them, and there's just a couple of pictures of kiddos with smiles on their faces on the river. So again, it takes a village to do it. We have, again, like I mentioned, many volunteers, different organizations there. We do have campers that have come back and offer up their services, which is also fantastic as well. I will say, when it comes to the application process, it is one that we only have the applications open for a short amount of time. So again, mark your calendars. It's a little while from now. That applications are typically available in September and then close end of October. It is a competitive application process. As I mentioned, we usually only take about 24 to 28 kiddos, but we usually have about 50 apply. So again, with that, we are a little bit limited just to how many we can take over the weekend. So again, it is competitive, and our applications will always be available on our website. So our website's the best place for information, but you can also follow the Guadalupe River Trout Unlimited Facebook page as well. We post there. And so it is, again, it's a great experience, great way to get out on the river, again, for both youth and adults as well. And so I think with that, again, I encourage y'all again, I'd love to see y'all out at GRTU and some of the other events that they do. So I think with that, Megan, I'll turn it back over to you.
Sure. Thank you, Cassie. I have one question in the chat from early in the presentation for Elisa regarding if applications are accepted for the Land Stewardship Ambassadors from counties other than the ones that you mentioned.
So we actually do encourage kids that are in counties surrounding Bear, Webb, and Cameron, as long as they have transportation to and from our meetings. The reason that we have the program available in those specific counties is because we have instructors in those counties. And it's a close enough location to where we can meet with the students every Sunday. But if there's a student in an adjacent county, they're encouraged to apply as well. But they do have to have transportation to and from the meetings every Sunday.
Okay, thank you. That was the only question that we had in the chat. If there's anybody in attendance who has a final question, please post it now. Looks like I did get one other question. Yes, this slideshow will be posted on the Texas Wildlife Association YouTube page as soon as we get done. It'll be uploaded by the end of the day, and you can replay it to other groups or organizations if you desire to. So you can always go back to it. And I suggest, please, those of you in attendance, take a picture of this slide that we're on now. Keep these organizations in mind for your kids or for folks in your network. Another question from someone: are there any resources for kids who live in far west Texas? Do we know of any organizations or resources out that way? Anybody?
I will say that we did have camp in Fort Davis this past summer. So every now and then we do make our way out there, which still isn't super close to El Paso, but it's closer. And I know they also have like a Texas Master Naturalist chapter out there as well that probably has some opportunities as far as getting outdoors and that type of thing.
Great, thank you. That's it for questions. I don't see anything else popping up in the chat. I really appreciate all of you joining us today. This was a great presentation, very well rounded. And again, this will be posted on the Texas Wildlife Association YouTube page here shortly for anyone to go back and reference. For anybody who did not make or knows someone who did not make this particular webinar, there will be another at 2:30 or 2 o'clock. Is that correct? Again, at 2 o'clock. And that link is not up here, but it's Texas Children in Nature. You can find the information on their website for the 2 o'clock webinar. Thank you everyone for joining us today at Wild at Work. Again, I appreciate everyone being here, and everyone have a good afternoon.